Hey there friends, Missy here. It's Sunday morning. My hair's a mess. I did put on some earrings to try to make myself feel a little bit more put together because I never wear earrings or anything anymore. These are actually really beautiful. They were made by a friend of mine, Onada Jewelry. I'll put her Etsy in here for those of you who want to look at some really amazing, beautiful handmade jewelry. I'll put that in the description of the video. Joe went to go be with the animals up at the homestead this morning, and I'm here in our kitchen getting ready to plan our meals for the week and do some meal prep. I never do this, and let me tell you why. I very rarely bring you into this kitchen. Let me preface this by saying I am very grateful that we have this rental home. It is really hard to find a rental here in northern Idaho, and we happen to find one, so that is a blessing in and of itself. This is a nice kitchen. It's not a bad kitchen, but it is dark and it is not reflective of my personality at all. And for me to feel inspired in a space, it needs to be beautiful and it needs to feel like me, and this just does not. So I very rarely bring people into the kitchen, but a lot of you on Instagram have said, hey, we want more of the cooking stuff. We want more of you in the kitchen, because that is a huge part of homesteading, and that's where I started, was in the kitchen with making food for our family from scratch. So today, you just get to do a little meal prep with me and kind of see how I set up my week to make it a little bit less chaotic, because let's face it, life is crazy for most of us, and it does help a lot if you have even like a rough outline of what you're gonna make during the week, so that you don't have to stress in the evenings when your husband walks in and says, "What's for dinner, honey?" Does anybody else have a husband who does that? Because mine, especially if I'm in a bad mood, Joe will find that day and walk in and say, "What's for dinner?" on the one day that I don't have it planned, always. So it just makes my life easier on so many levels if I know what's for dinner. Okay, first off, I want to say I am not a professional meal planner. This is not an area where I shine, but I have learned what works for me. So I get a piece of paper. I don't have a fancy planner. I don't have anything fancy. It's just a piece of paper. I always start out by walking out to my freezers where we keep our meat. And I literally kind of grab what's off the top. What do I want to make this week with these meats that I see? Some of them might need to brine, some of them might need to marinate, so I pull them out on Sunday. I saw a chicken in there, so I pulled out a chicken. So tonight we're having leftovers. So I'm starting this meal plan on Monday. I'm just gonna roast the chicken. We have a joke about this in our family, baked chicken. It's like, what's for dinner? Baked chicken. Baked potatoes, because I know I have some potatoes in here that need to get used, and salad. So then after I roast this chicken on Monday, I'm gonna save the bones and the carcass, and I will make broth with it, and I will put that broth either in the freezer or I'll use it later in the week for one of these other meals. When I was out in the freezer, I also saw that I had some ham hocks. All of our meat is always local. It's always grown by local farmers. Soon we'll be slaughtering our own pigs, but this was from a local farmer. This was one of our chickens. So I've got some hocks here, and I'm going to do beans and ham hocks. We love greens with that, so I'll probably do some collard greens or some kale, depending on what I find at the store. This is a rough outline, mostly so that I know what to get when I'm at the store. And sometimes I'll just totally change the meal plan, but it's nice to have a rough outline. So Tuesday is gonna be beans and ham hocks, collard or kale. I usually make rice with that too for the kids to put the beans and the hocks on top of. So I'll put brown rice. I know I have brown rice in my food storage always, so that's something I don't have to get. I do know that I wanna make a Mexican beef stew this week. So I went ahead and I grabbed a beef shank, a chuck roast, and a pack of stew meat. So I'll use the chuck roast and the stew meat as the meat in the beef stew, and I will use the shank for the broth for the meat stew. So that's gonna be Wednesday. So off the top of my head for that one, I know that I'm gonna add to my list things like cilantro, some bell pepper, make sure I have onion. Sometimes I'll put hominy in our Mexican beef stew. I wanna make sure I have limes, things like that. So that gives me like a rough outline for my grocery list. So I know that we're having baked potatoes. I will bake extra potatoes. And then I'll take this chicken leftover carcass and I will make broth with it. And I will use those leftover potatoes and the broth for a really quick meal on Thursday to make potato soup. And I'll make sure I have bacon on my list to crumble bacon up on top of that potato soup. I only meal plan through Friday. Saturdays I give myself a break. Joe and I will make that meal together and not prep it ahead of time, or we'll eat leftovers, or sometimes we'll go out, rarely because of the 2-year-old. But so I think Friday I will make a quiche. It's okay, what's up? Oh no, are you in the horsey costume?
See.
Nay, nay, are you a horsey?
Come on, horses.
This is the disaster behind the camera. This is real life, people. Toys, toys, toys everywhere. What are you playing this morning?
Dinosaurs.
Wait, now you want it back on? So that is my basic meal plan for the week. Then I'm gonna just look at this list, make my grocery list based off of the ingredients that I don't have for this stuff, and that's it. Super simple, nothing fancy, not too much thought put into it. The other thing I'm gonna do to make my week a little bit easier is I'm gonna pull out the veggies and some of the fruits that I'll be putting in the kids' lunches in the morning, and I'm gonna pre-chop them so that I don't have to stress in the morning. Just like one less thing to have to do. I'm chopping carrots and celery. I do a lot of peanut butter, like ants on a log, so I'm gonna chop the celery kind of big, and I will put all this in water to keep it fresh. Carrots and celery. All right, these will go in the fridge. I'm gonna also cut up some oranges. Apples don't keep well once they've been cut, so I don't do those ahead of time. This will literally only save me like 5 minutes in the morning, but it's 5 minutes and our mornings can be fairly stressful. I'm not the best at morning stress, so anywhere where I can save myself a little bit of time means I'm a nicer mother in the morning. Oranges, this may seem like a lot of oranges, but this will be gone in like 2 days. Keeps me from having to chop them when the kids want oranges too. So I've got the oranges, I've got the veggies. Those are gonna all go in the fridge with my meats that are gonna thaw for the week. And my sourdough starter just overflowed. So I'm going to mix up my sourdough bread for the week really quickly. I'm not gonna do a sourdough tutorial today, but if that is something you want, let me know, and that's content I can make at some point. But this morning, I'm just gonna whip this up really quickly so that we can get out of here to do our grocery shopping. Kids are playing in the background. It might be a little noisy. I do have a sourdough reel on my Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram at Irish Acres Homestead, there is a reel where I, in 1 minute, walk you through my, I don't even know if you can hear me, where I walk you through my sourdough process, but that's just like a quick little thing. So if you do want a tutorial, comment, let me know, and we'll do like a real sourdough tutorial at some point. Look at this though. Ooh, look at this bubbly, beautiful starter. That dino roaring is just so loud, buddy. Can you take him? But it is on the camera loud, probably. Oh well. You know your starter is really active when it floats. That's all I'm gonna say about the sourdough. I'm just gonna mix it up. I'm gonna hard boil some eggs and make egg salad. I'm gonna actually set the timer so that I don't forget. It's 9:50. We had hoped to be out of here by 10 o'clock. That is not going to happen. If I can get this sourdough bread mixed up, that's kind of a big deal before we go. Problem is, sourdough needs a little bit of love and attention, but this one's gonna get ignored. And I find it all works out. I know a lot of you are moms as well, and probably have the same struggles as I do.
You always should know that if you have chicken eggs, always, if you're not gonna eat them, fertilize them.
Fertilize them, yeah, and then what, hatch them?
then hatch them.
Ah, okay.
And then if you don't want to hatch them or anything else, kill them and then eat them or hard boil them.
Good advice, Kieran. Thank you for that. We are in frantic mode trying to get out of the house right now, but I want to show you, I'm about to make egg salad. There's a little trick that my mama taught me for making egg salad. So let me just get a little close up here to show you the miracle of this trick. All right, friends, here it is. Potato masher. You got all these eggs in your bowl. Potato masher for the win. It is the fastest way to get your eggs for egg salad all chopped up, quick and easy. Thank you, Mom. Check it out. That was so quick. The egg is now ready to be mixed up. My kids are super particular about what goes in their egg salad. This is a very, very simple recipe. Mayonnaise to whatever consistency you like it. A little bit of mustard. I did chop up fresh parsley, fresh dill, and fresh chives. My kids love herbs, but they do not love onions. So I don't put regular onions in my egg salad.
Or mushrooms.
Or, Luna's in the background saying, or mushrooms. She doesn't like mushrooms, but I don't think anybody puts mushrooms in egg salad, honey. And then just salt and pepper, a little bit of Worcestershire. I never know how to say that. It's a little secret ingredient and makes egg salad really yummy. Give it a little taste. Needs more mustard. Needs a little more Worcestershire. That's how I've always said it, Worcestershire. I don't think that's right, but I'm very particular about what I store food in. Always glass, never plastic, because it leaches. But there you have it. Egg salad for quick egg salad toast breakfasts and for some lunches for the kids. So it's 10 o'clock. So far this morning, I fed everybody breakfast. I got some fruit and veggies prepped for lunches. I got egg salad prepped for lunches. My sourdough is started, and I will finish that when we get back from the Family Fun Center, which we promised our kids we would go do.
You should always help your family.
Okay. You went down? You can get down. Go find Dada. The other thing I have planned for today is to render lard. This is frozen solid, so I'm gonna let it thaw while we go do the Family Fun Center and our grocery shopping. And I will come back tonight and get the lard started to render, finish up my sourdough. I'm also hoping to make some sourdough bagels before tomorrow morning. I have lofty goals. We'll see how much actually gets done. I may come back later today. Okay, let's go change your diaper. Do you want to go to the Family Fun Center? Do you want to go play games at the Family Fun Center? And ride some rides? Does that sound fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. All right, we'll be back. Hey, it is the next day. We took the kids to the Family Fun Center yesterday on Sunday, had a blast, and by the time I got home, I was ready to put on my pajamas and just finish up the things in the kitchen that I had started. So I did get my bread baked, I got some bagels whipped up last night, and I rendered my lard, which I will do a whole video on at some point, but I love cooking with delicious, freshly rendered pork lard. And so I did that meal plan. Tonight is chicken night. I thought I'd show you how I'm gonna roast this chicken off tonight for our dinner. So in here, I have some dried herbs, pepper and salt, Celtic sea salt, and my herbs are just an Italian blend. And I'm gonna mix it with some lard. And then I'm going to slather this bird in my mixture of lard and herbs and salt and pepper. Yeah. So rub your bird down with the lard. You can use butter for this if you don't have lard. Duck fat would work great too. If you don't use butter, you can even kind of do it with olive oil, although it's not the same because it doesn't have that thicker texture. So this guy is nice and coated. I'm gonna put this in the oven covered at about 225 for, I don't know, 3 hours or something. When the internal temperature gets to 180, I will then take the lid off, turn the heat up, and brown the skin on the top of the chicken. Don't mind this weirdness. This is our solution for keeping the baby out of these drawers. We have a stick through the handles. So you might see this in our videos and wonder, what is that stick? That's what this is. It's a baby proofing device. Use what you have, right? It's definitely been a Monday. Come here, son. I'm really glad I did all that prep yesterday so that when I get this guy down for a nap, I can sit down and have a cup of tea and knit. We have bread made, we have bagels made, we have food prepped in the fridge, meal plans done, chickens in the oven. Setting myself up for success this week. I would love to hear your prepping tips, especially those of you who have kids, what you do to set yourself up for success during the week regarding meal plans and meals and easy things that you can do that make your life a little bit gentler. If you like our content, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you have a blessed week. We will see you next time. Let's go take a nap. Say bye. Can you say bye?